Okay, so I'm going to do a little video. I know I've done a video on the garden in May, and that's already in the can, so to speak. But I just want to do another video just showing you what's blooming between mid and late May. All the pollinator plants, mostly native. Not everything, but mostly native. And we'll even see a few critters that are visiting the garden in May and how badly they need this. They need these flowering plants at this time of year because there's not much, especially here. As you know, because I've said it many times, most of the plants here are invasive species. There's very little blooming right now, so the pollinators really need some help, and they're getting it here. We had some butterflies today and several bees, and kind of cool. So lots of birds. So hang in, and I hope you like this video. I'm going to show you all the different flowers that are in bloom right now, uh, providing pollen and nectar for our native insects. Okay, hang in there. So this is native columbine, Aquilegia canadensis. This is a native plant to the northeast, to a good part of the country west, east of the Rockies, I would guess. And there are other Aquilegia, other columbines that are native to the mountain states and out west. So, you need to find the ones that are native to your area. These are hummingbird favorites. So up here in New Jersey, early hummingbirds don't have a whole lot of plants to nectar on, and this is a really important one for them. I grew this from seed. I don't have a lot of money. I'm on Social Security and a little annuity. I know a lot of you can identify with that. So you want a lot of plants, you want native plants, you grow them from seed. It's very inexpensive. So these plants, like a lot of the native perennials, even some of the annuals, need to be planted in the fall, and then you winter them over in your backyard or wherever, so that where they're exposed to the cold and freezing and thawing, freezing, and you get little seedlings in the spring. Now these plants, this is their second year, so it takes a couple of years, but it's well worth it. Very beautiful plant. This is golden Alexander. This is another native plant to the northeast. It's in the carrot family, which makes it the host plant for the black swallowtail. That used to be such a common butterfly here. Beautiful butterfly. They're not common anymore. There's no butterflies that are common here anymore. This is an easy plant to grow. It's a little aggressive, and people complain that it reseeds everywhere. Well, it's not a big deal. You pull out the little seedlings you don't want. I love having this plant here, and it's one that you should grow. Easy to grow from seed, cheap. It's a bumblebee hanging around down here. This is a two-spotted bumblebee. Oh, let's see. Oh, no, actually, this is a, let's see if I can get him. Where are you, pal? That's a carpenter bee, and he is nectaring on these little weeds. I always forget what they are. They're not native, but you know what? They're important because the early bees and butterflies and other insects, they don't have much to eat at this time of year. Not around here anyway. This is mostly invasive plants, and there's not a lot of ephemerals, early plants that native insects rely on. I'm trying to put some here in the garden. Little by little, we'll get them. There's a little tiny bee. I don't know if we'll get them on this flower, like a little sweat bee, that little green. Very pretty. I don't know if you can see him. That's a little sweat bee. So that's an early one, probably a female, and she's going to start a family really soon. And you can see how important these early bloomers are to these insects, to our native bees and butterflies. There's another little sweat bee just came on. So, and you learn about these things. I didn't know what a sweat bee was. Couldn't tell you a sweat bee from a watermelon before I started doing this. And you learn stuff. You go online and you're like, what the hell is that thing? And you learn about their life their life cycles, and it's just fascinating. Nature is absolutely fascinating. You know, they tell you, you know, if you don't want to get dementia, learn a new language. Well, learn the language of nature. It's just wonderful, and it's something you can use. You can impress your friends with what you know. So do this, please. Retire for nature. It's so good for you, so many ways. Okay, it's enough of my rambling. Here is a black swallowtail. We're gonna get close. A female, and she is nectaring on this golden Alexander. She will also lay eggs on it. Maybe she's laying some eggs on it. Actually, I see her her abdomen all the way over. Another early bloomer for the shade. This is Geranium maculatum, I believe. This is your wild geranium. Very pretty. Necessary for the pollinators. Been blooming for a little while now. Another good plant. Grew it from seed. Cost me almost nothing. And it's going to spread like crazy, and I'll have a nice patch of it in a couple of years. Wild geranium. This is Canada anemone. It's a really nice early blooming perennial. I only have a couple of them in the garden right now. Hopefully they're going to spread, because they can spread quite a bit. How pretty that flower is. If I can get it in focus. And the pollinators love it. It's an important early pollination and nectar source for our native bees and a few butterflies. It's really a pretty little flower. And they spread, you know, so hopefully it's going to spread and take up a lot of space. They grow in the shade. I have them in the shade, and they're doing pretty well. So this is Canada anemone, and it's a native to New Jersey in the Northeast. Very nice plant. Okay, so this is one of the fleabanes. I think it might be Philadelphia, because the other one is an annual, and Erigeron anus, I think. And this one was here last year, and it survived the winter and is blooming now before the others. And I know there's some Philadelphias blooming on the other side of the park. So this may be a Philadelphia, whatever. It's a native plant. Cute. Little pollinators love it. I have some pictures on the other one. I'm having trouble getting focused today for some reason. My phone. But I have tons of the annual ones coming up all over the place, but they have not started to bloom yet. But every year I get a lot of them, and they bloom for a long time. They bloom for weeks and weeks. And the little pollinators love them, and pretty soon there's already been a few skipper butterflies, and this is one of their favorites. So this is a good plant to have in your native garden. You know, look it up. Fleabane. There's a bunch of different ones. I have a perennial fleabane in the front. Pulchellum, Robin's fleabane, and that started blooming earlier and is almost done already. And that one spreads, and it's a perennial. It's a good ground cover. So fleabane, another good early blooming perennial. This one, anyway, for early spring, for the early pollinators that really need this. These are Robin's fleabane, Erigeron porcellus, I believe, porcellus. I'll put it in the video. Early bloomer, these like some sun. They spread like crazy. Got a package of seeds for $3.50, Prairie Moon Nursery. And I just keep separating them. They just keep spreading. So it rained last night, so they're kind of wet. They look a little beat up, but it's a good ground cover for the sunny area. Partial sun, partial shade. They're not picky. And the bees and the little butterflies really enjoy them. A lot of nice little native bees on them. So this is a Virginia waterleaf, blooming now. Hydrophyllum virginianum, I believe. And this is a great plant for pollinators. One of the few things that's blooming in the garden right now, and I've had northern golden bumblebees on it already. I've had a bunch of little flower flies, and these are new plants. I grew them from seed. I put them in last fall. I have only got 3 to germinate, but they're full of flowers and they're spreading and really nice. Virginia waterleaf. Grows in the shade. This is a shady spot, so that's important too. Okay. Mayapple flower. You have to look underneath to see it, but isn't that beautiful? Native plant, early bloomer, very, very pretty flower. And then it'll make it this fruit that people call the mayapple. I don't think they're edible. I don't really know. I wouldn't eat them if I were you. But animals eat them. I know the animals eat them. I know box turtles like them. So this is a good plant. They come up, they do their thing, and then by June or July, they're gone until the next year. But beautiful, beautiful flower. There's a little flower fly on the wild strawberry. These bloom early. The little pollinators really need them. Very, very cute, this little fly. Look how cute. So here's a Tradescantia. It's a native plant, and this actually was a piece I took off of a plant in my garden. It was never really doing that well, and when I planted it here, it just dried up and died, and I said, okay, well, that didn't work. But then this spring, it popped up, and it is beautiful. It looks like it's 2 different color flowers, but that's just the sun shining on it. They're all deep purple flowers. And the deer will eat this. I put deer repellent on it, because otherwise it would have been gone already. But this is a Tradescantia species. I'll look it up. I don't know the species name. But very pretty. Gets a lot of pollinators. Pollinators love it. It's a good plant, and it's in the shade here. This doesn't get much sun at all, so you can see it does pretty well in the shade. Okay, another nice plant blooming towards the end of May. Okay, this guy I did plant. He's a really deep blue. I think the species normally not quite this blue, but I bought it as straight Baptisia australis, native plant, absolutely gorgeous, and it's a host plant for some moths, so it provides caterpillars and some pollen. Somebody's flying around it. Oh, we got a little skipper right on it. See if we can get him. So as you can see, the skippers like it. I'm going to tell you what skipper that is once I look it up, because I'm not great with skippers. There he is. Oh, it's a female. I know what it is. I think it's a Zabuan, but I have to look it up. Come on, get in focus. So as you can see, it's a good pollen plant, an early pollen plant, and the early butterflies need it. So that's, proof right there. Plant some native plants, please. Get outside, get some exercise, look things up, learn stuff, use your brain, don't get dementia. Have a great retirement. Okay, let's see what else we can find. Okay, so those are some of the plants that are in bloom in May here on the Hill Garden. There's some others. This thistle, which is an invasive species, we're going to talk about it next month. That's just coming into bloom. There's a few other non-native plants that are blooming. June, it's going to be a whole nother ball game. There'll be dozens more plants. There'll be a lot more butterflies and bees and interesting bugs to look at. So we're going to do another video in a few weeks. I mean, it's been a couple of weeks since I did the beginning of this video, and you could see how everything has grown in just a couple of weeks. Crazy. So anyway, hang in there, and I'm going to show you another video of the garden in a couple of weeks and what's blooming in a couple of weeks. And I hope you enjoyed seeing what was in bloom in May. Okay, we will see you soon, I hope.